Hey Kiva Cubs, Mrs. Hoffer here for today's math lesson.
Friends, the goals of today's lesson are that you will know how to join or add two numbers together that are less than or equal to 10 to find a bigger number, and you will understand how to join two numbers together to solve word problems, and you will be able to use full number sentences to answer word problems with the help of pictures and manipulatives. So let's get started. All right, Keeble Cubs. So, like we just learned in our goals today, we are going to continue on and expand on our lessons on addition. So, friends, tell me a little bit about what we have learned so far about addition. What are we doing when we are adding two numbers together? That's right, we are joining two numbers together by adding them together, friends. Good job. And by joining these numbers together, we are solving for a final answer. And that final answer that we're solving is how many the two numbers are in total. So, in all, when we join or add them together, Keeble Cubs. Friends, we learned how to add numbers, so two numbers joined together up to 10. And we also learned that the number that we come out with, so the number the two numbers equal to in our number sentence, has to be the same or greater than the numbers that we are adding together. Friends, a lot of the time when we're doing math problems, we see or hear word problems. And this is basically the same as what we did yesterday with just adding different objects and manipulatives together from our pictures. But the difference is we are hearing a little story about something, and we need to figure out from this little word problem, so this short story we hear, we need to figure out key words and numbers that we hear in the word problems that will then help us answer our word problem and find out the number sentence. Keeble Cubs, do you remember what we do when we write down a number sentence? When we write down our number sentence, we're writing down the two numbers that we are adding together. So we do one number and then we do a plus sign. Remember, Keeble Cubs, that's the symbol for adding or joining together. Then we do the second number and then we do an equal sign, Keeble Cubs, and then the final number that we calculate, so that we count up of the numbers that we are joining together. For our first word problem, let's get started. Sandy has 4 roses in her garden that we see right here, 4 roses. And she also has 6 sunflowers. But Sandy doesn't want to know just how many roses and sunflowers she has. She wants to know how many flowers she has in all. So, Keeble Cubs, what are some things we heard that make us know that it is an addition question in this word problem? Well, what I heard is that we're looking for how many flowers she has in all. So because we heard in all, we know the total amount, not just the roses or the sunflowers, but the total amount joined together. So we are going to be writing a number sentence with addition, and we know this is an addition problem. So, friends, I'm going to get my marker out. I'm going to draw the line here, which is where our first number is going to go. And then I am going to write, and then I'm going to write the plus sign because we heard in all, so we know we're looking for the total and addition problem. The second line for the second number we're looking for, and then equals, and then the last number, so all the flowers will go in this circle. So, friends, what do we hear first? How many sunflowers is there in the garden? That's right. We heard that there is 6 sunflowers in the garden. And we also heard that there are 4 roses. But I don't want to know just how many sunflowers and roses there are. We want to figure out how many flowers there are in general. So, a good way to do this, friends, is let's cross out all of the flowers while we are counting them at the same time, and we will count up the total amount. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We counted 10 in all, Keeble Cubs. So not only do we know that 6 sunflowers plus 4 roses equals 10 flowers in all, we just figured out in our number sentence that 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. Good job, Cubs. For our next word problem, let's get started. Keeble Primary School has 5 yellow buses and 4 blue buses. And we want to know how many buses Keeble Primary School has in all. So, friends, how many yellow buses did we find out Keeble has? That is the first key number that we are going to write down from our word problem. We found out there are 5. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we heard that we want to find out how many there are in all. So we know it's a addition word problem. So that's a plus sign. And then we are going to find out, we found out that there are 4 blue buses. So we are going to add a plus 4 is equal to, and then let's cross them all out again to count how many there are in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 buses in all Keeble Cubs. So now we have figured out the word problem that Keeble has 5 yellow buses plus 4 blue buses is equal to 9. But we also have our full number sentence, which alone, Keeble Cubs, we would say 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. Good job, friends. Now it's time for our next word problem. Jenny goes into her garden and sees lots of pretty bugs. Jenny sees 3 butterflies, and Jenny also sees 5 ladybugs. How many pretty bugs does Jenny see in all, Keeble Cubs? Well, friends, what important information did we learn? How many butterflies does Jenny see? She sees 3. And how many ladybugs does Jenny see? She sees 5. That's right. So we are going to start our number sentence down here. 3 plus, because we know we want to find the amount of insects in all, 5 is equal to, well, Keeble Cubs, let's cross these out and count together to find out how many bugs there are in all in Jenny's garden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bugs in all. So, Keeble Cubs, we just solved the word problem. We know there are 8 bugs in all in Jenny's garden. And now let's read it as a number sentence. 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Good job, friends. Friends, we're going to continue practicing our addition word problems with number sentences, but this time I'm going to show you how we can do it with manipulatives. Let's get started on this next activity.
Okay, friends, so now we're going to continue solving some addition word problems using our Unifix Cubes manipulatives. So remember, in our after our word problems and in order to solve, we will be writing our number sentences. And for example, the number sentences for addition, so joining numbers, will be this, the first number up here, plus, remember friends, this plus sign means add or to join the numbers, plus this second number right here is equal to, and that's a symbol that we put, which represents the number sentence and the number that is going to be equal to, so what we get after adding these two numbers, and then we'll put our final number right here that we come up with. So now let's solve our first word problem. Jenny has 4 green apples and 5 red apples. But Jenny doesn't care about how many green or red apples she has. Jenny wants to figure out how many apples she has in all Keeble Cubs. So remember, when we figure out word problems, we're looking for the key details, the key words, and numbers we heard in our word problem. So friends, we know we're going to be writing an addition number sentence because the word problem asked us how many apples Jenny had in all. And when they told us 2 different types, we know then that we are going to be joining the 2 different types of apples to find how many apples she has in all. So we heard that Jenny has 4 green apples, Keeble Cubs. So we are going to write 4 right here. 4 green apples, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 green Unifix cubes represents Jenny's 4 green apples. Jenny also has 5 red apples, so I'm going to lay down the Unifix cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to write down that second number, which represents the red apples, 5, on the second number slot for our number sentence. So now we know 4 plus 5, but we want to figure out this number right here, the total amount of apples Jenny has. So Keeble Cubs, how do we do that? That's right, friends, by counting all of our Unifix cubes. So, Keeble Cubs, when you count all of these together, how many apples do we have in all? How many Unifix cubes are there, friends? That's right, there are 9, friends. Good job. So we know that Jenny's 4 apples plus her 5 apples is equal to 9 apples in all. So our number sentence would then equal 4 plus 5 equals 9. Good job, friends. All right, friends, for our next word problem we are going to be solving is this. There are 5 yellow birds in a garden, and there are 3 squirrels. We want to figure out how many animals there are in all in the garden. So what are we going to do? We're going to use our Unifix cubes and a piece of paper to write down a number sentence to figure out this word problem. So let's start by one thing we figured out. We figured out we want to find out the number in all, which means that we are joining the 2 numbers together, the squirrels and the yellow birds. So we had 5 yellow birds, so I'm going to do 5 Unifix cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is going to represent the the first number in our number sentence. We know we're joining them together because we're finding out the total amount of animals in the gardens and all. So that's the plus sign for add. Then we're going to add the 3 brown squirrels with our 3 brown Unifix cubes. For that, we'll represent that as our second number. Equals. Keeble Cubs, count all the Unifix cubes and tell me what 5 plus 3 is equal to. That's right, friends. We have 8. So we just figured out that 5 yellow birds in a garden plus 3 squirrels equals 8 animals in all. If we were saying it just as a number sentence, Keeble Cubs, we would be saying 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Good job, friends. John has 4 orange cats. 1, 2, 3, 4 orange cats for the 4 Unifix cubes. John has 4 orange cats and 3 brown cats. But we want to know how many cats John has in all Keeble Cubs. So, what are we going to do? That's right, we are going to write out a number sentence and figure out how many 4 plus 3 is to figure out how many cats John has. So, Keeble Cubs, our first piece of information, remember, because we're looking for keywords and key numbers, the first thing we heard was the 4 orange cats. Then we heard that we want to figure out how many has an all, so we know it's going to be a plus sign because we're joining them together. Next, how many brown cats did we hear we had, friend? How many brown cats does John have? Let's write 3, so we'll write 3, then equal sign. Now, Keeble Cubs, let's count all the Unifix cubes to figure out how many 4 cats plus 3 cats is in all. How many Unifix cubes do we have? That's right, 7, friends. So we just figured out that 4 orange cats plus 3 brown cats equals 7 cats in all. Or if we were taking away the word problem and just had the number sentence, we would see that 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. Good job, friends.
That's all the time we have today. Keeble Cubs, keep up the fantastic math work.